One thing I'm going to do to try to make my political... I think the last thread they made was a little bit too weirdly worded. But I think what I want to do is I want to have it... so when I spend the first few hours of my stream going over links and shit, I just want to have a subreddit post where every day there's just a post and then you guys just post and then I'll just go over like the top 2 posts or top 3 or comments or whatever. I think I had them make one of these, but I didn't even stream them there, so it didn't matter. Not like this. This is AIDS. I don't know why. Don't post like this though. But I guess I'll talk about it more when the next one gets posted. Like, oh, here's like 10 links for a thing. Somebody else did it. This guy. There's a yearly report that Senator Rand Paul releases, detailing some examples of what he considers to be egregious government spending. The Festivus report. I saw a little bit about this and it was really funny. He says that there was... He's highlighting $1 trillion in government waste, right? $1 trillion in government waste in our budget? $1 trillion, that's crazy. But the really funny thing is that when you go through his like breakdowns, we've got ghost towns, a pandemic plunder, your tax dollars, so like 8 million, 12 million, 330,000, 2 million. Like, damn, he must have like 1 billion of these things to get up to $1 trillion, right? But the funny thing is that of that $1 trillion, hold on, what was this? I'm pretty sure of the $1 trillion, like 900 billion of it. Oh, it was this, sorry. So, okay, sorry, here it was here. So, right, we've got 10 billion here, 8 million here, 12 million here, 2 million here, 100,000 here, 15.5 billion here, 4.8 million here, 365,000 here, 3 million here. Interestingly wasteful. Americans are paying $892 billion on interest. This is 90% of his fucking wasteful spending is on interest on the debt. I guess having the same report, but only having $100 billion to highlight instead of $1 trillion is not as interesting. But I just thought that was funny. Like, oh, let's just have a, who wrote this? I think this was, isn't this from, is it the Rand org or from Rand Paul? I think it's like from Rand Paul. I don't think those two things aren't, the Rand Institute isn't related to Rand Paul at all, right? It's a totally different thing, right? I don't remember what that thing came from. Wait, I should be able to just look. Fuck, it was probably in that Reddit thread, but anyway, okay. Dr. Paul releases 2024 Festivus report on government waste. Okay, yeah, it was by, or at least supported by him, or sponsored by him, or promoted by him, or led by him. As a person that sits on the left, Cenk's convo with Franny was cringe. Her left-wing purity test attitude does turn off average Americans. MAGA's absolute batshit crazy, but it's like the left doesn't understand their own cringe. Wait, is she Franny? Franny? F-R-A-N-I-E? Is that like her nickname? Is that what people call her? Francesca? Or? Yes, okay.
You ever think you...
Do I even want to? I don't think. I'm not watching this. This is older too, isn't it? 3 weeks ago.
This random guy, Nick Smith, doing a strike at a Waffle House in Western Virginia, and we go and interview him in the 2016 election, and he says, "Look, all my family's coal miners, right?" And our reporter asks, "Why are you guys voting for Trump, right?" And he says, "Look, Hillary Clinton comes here and everybody."
What is this section? Hold
Everybody,
on.
Rob, if you want to pull up the Obama story, because Obama is becoming an election denier, and you know,
well, you don't say.
I mean, I
Weird.
didn't think he was going to be the guy that's going to be an election denier. Is this entire video, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Obama is suddenly very concerned about what the party in power can do to rig elections and weaponize the government against perceived political enemies. What curious timing! The Washington Examiner reports Obama scorns doom loop of political extremism after Democrats' election defeat. Former Barack Obama criticized the political doom and loop created by politicians who portrayed their opponents as enemies to be vanquished just weeks after he warned voters.
So Obama saying there are things that controllers of the state can do to rig an election is election denying. Also, by the way, remember, Trump did try to rig the 2020 election because he was the controller of the state, of the federal. He did try to do that. Like, that did happen. That was a real thing that actually happened.
Voters about now President-elect Donald Trump while campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris. Go ahead and play this clip.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power.
Didn't get the shit out of his mouth.
Either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents.
Look at the eyes.
He doesn't believe it. I never saw him.
And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure. That's okay.
It's weak.
In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Firm. Yeah, by the way, he does not look strong.
He looks like defeated and weak. That guy, and by the way, he's unoriginal, Tom.
How do they analyze Trump? I bet these guys look at the Trump dance and like, this is actually the most epic thing ever. Is Trump making dance? Oh God, when Pierre said that, I wanted to fucking die on that show. I don't remember if he said that while I was on the show, if I just watched him say, is Trump making the dance cool again? Was I on that show or was it somebody else? Was it Brian and Pacman when Pierce was like, let's all do the dance? I don't think that was me. Oh God, that was so fucking cringe. I think that was when Brian and David Pacman were on the show, right?
Hours, more reports are coming out.
Is talking to Pierre's horrible.
No, wait, this was way longer ago. Fuck. 2 months ago, 1 month ago. Was it a whole month ago? No, you guys are saying a tweet. I thought there was a show where at the end of the show, he was like, let's all do a Trump dance. Am I just making this up? This never happened?
Hours.
Wait, it was this? This whole country is so insane. It's hard to even remember, like, did this actually happen? Was this actually real?
Cis, LGBT, whatever you want to call it, community. Have a little here we cis LGBT trend around the world. What is right? And is now taken fire and has now become a trend around the world. Why don't we all come together as one big
it hasn't. No, it has not become a trend all around the world. I had how you can speak things into reality and they become true in the minds of people who listen.
Cis, LGBT, whatever you want to call it, community, and have a little dance. Here we go.
And they have to censor the music for the YouTube video. Oh my God. Like how is this not like the king has no clothes or whatever, like dancing for that, like being a jester for like, oh my God, bro, like really? How? Oh my God. Like, dude, if I was on a fucking show and they were like, dance for Kamala, we're gonna dance for Hillary, I'd be like, bruh, this is not my demo. Get me the fuck out of here. As a person that's, oh, I already read that. Okay. Like,
I know the two liberals were the two biggest wussies not dancing. As the rest of us got fully into the
Hillary go to the polls. Remember that?
groove. Anyway, young men and Brianna, lovely to
Pokemon go to the polls.
have you all on the program. Thank you all very much indeed. Enjoyed the spirited debate. Long way to continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, now Democratic campaign has been labelled a one.
I hope we do this dance here when they're deporting millions of people from the United States.
You talked about this before. He stole the tactic. He took a page right out of the Nazi minister propaganda, Joseph Goebbels' book, accused the other side of which you are guilty. And we talked about it on the other podcast. They need to check. I want to know your thought on this.
Like, how do you do this when it's always like the mirror, like the reverse accusation, right? Like, oh, well, like I say, every accusation is confession because it's true. And they go, well, actually, that's true for you. Every accusation is confession. Well, no, it's actually true for you. You're doing the thing. You're accusing us. You're saying that every accusation is a confession to us, when in reality, it is for you. And that's why when you accuse things as a confession, you just accused us of saying that, but it's actually you that's like.
These are the expired Democrats. This whole rhetoric that this guy's been doing when he was talking to the young.
Have you ever been on Piers with this lunatic Vinny? No, he's actually explicitly dodged debates with me in the past. He needs people that are weak men around him because he's a weak man. He can't like hold his own in a conversation.
Black voters, he's like, you got Kamala's black. You guys have to vote for Kamala. It's like the
who, like, this is delusion. Who said? I didn't even know Kamala was black or woman. I don't think the Democrats ever brought this up, ever, when she was running. What?
They need to check. I want to know your thought on this. These are the expired Democrats. This whole rhetoric that this guy's been doing when he was talking to the young black voters, he's like, you got Kamala's black. You guys have to vote for Kamala. It's like the shock of why they're losing everybody. It's not just left. Everybody's moving away from these people. If we're going to be honest, this has become the party of hypocrites. Okay, they're the actual racists. They're the corrupt ones. They're the ones that cheat elections. All right. They want young children to chop off their genitalia. And these are facts. They want to have them mutilate.
It's facts. As long as you say it's facts, it's facts.
Themselves. They want men and women's sports. Facts. This is only a left
men and women's.
Yeah. Also, wait. So is she black or is she Indian? Which one is it? I forget.
Men and women's sports. They want open borders. They want to use lawfare. Look at what he's talking about, Cenk. They're the party that literally weaponized the Department of Justice, the FBI, to go after Donald Trump. The guy even got shot in his head. This type of attitude.
Shot in his head. Oh, shot in his head.
This is done, and I just want to know, Cenk, are they not going to move on from these people? Let
me say something before we go to Cenk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say something. I'm going to go to Tom and Adam, and then I'm going to go to Cenk. Let me explain to what you're just saying right now, which is very important. Okay, so watch this. He may have just had the worst loss of his career.
Correct. I agree.
Who? Obama or? Wait, who are they talking about right now? Is it
100%?
Okay, because 2016, Hillary had the worst loss of her career. He did not. That was Hillary. And that was embarrassing that you lost to this guy, okay, meaning to Trump, okay? But this last one, Kamala wasn't campaigning. He was campaigning. Obama wasn't campaigning for Hillary. Yes, he was, but not like this. Obama was campaigning for Biden. He helped him, and they won, right? This is the first time he has had a public loss of this level, of this magnitude. He's never had a loss like this, and here's the issue. So Cenk comes and, hey, I think we have to stop thinking MAGA's the enemy. What? What's he talking about? I think we need to stop thinking these are horrible people. We got to stop taking that approach. We can disagree on policies, but these are like, I'm around them.
Oh, are they going to name some policies? I'm not watching this whole fucking shit show. I just want to see this one section here.
This guy speaks as a way that you're not, you lose a game, and what do? You come back and you say what? We have to go back and, hey, we messed up. That's terrible.
Like, imagine listening to Cuck Obama, who does speak like a cuck, because he's like, we're all Americans and we're in it together and blah, blah, blah. And then listening to Donald Trump, who's like, yeah, these motherfuckers are crazy. Fuck this place. And they're eating the dogs and the cats. And like, immigrants are poisoning America and shithole country. Like, and it's like, yeah, Obama was really extreme on that rhetoric. Yeah, absolutely. Obama was too much. It was too much for me. Obama was just way too out there. Like, really? Obama, who's like the most milquetoast lukewarm. Like, Obama, who is famously known for being so calm and chill that like one of the larger like skits related to him was the Key and Peele like anger translator thing. Like, this is how like this was his reputation. Like, come on, bro.
Lost. Back to the drawing board. We have to make some changes. It all starts with me. There is nothing. It all starts with me. You're the head coach of the Democratic Party. Where is the accountability for you? Where is you getting up on the stage and saying it's with me? If anything changes and you have this kind of a loss and you're saying, you know what he's trying to say? He's trying to say, in a way, because legally, yes, they're going to probably...
Why are people obsessed with hating Obama more than any other president? Republicans fucking hated Obama. Ooh. This has been a time period when the Republican Party probably was a bit more racist, at least outwardly, than they are now. So, Obama, that was the commie, socialist, evil motherfucker. Dude, establishment, old school Republicans, they fucking hated Obama. Oh, they hated Obama. You have no idea how much they hated Obama. Oh my God, they fucking hated Obama. Whew. They hated him.
Flip one more seat for Supreme Court. That's what he's trying to say, but he's saying it in a way to make it seem like it's illegal. It's not. He's doing it in a legal way. But
Now, I know the relationship between the president and the press can seem a bit strained at times. Some in this room have even accused the president of being distant and aloof. When I asked the president about it earlier, he said, "Oh," and then walked away.
You're just not happy about it because that could be a 20-year of Supreme Court and logic having some kind of control. Tom, what are your thoughts on what
when I saw that, I thought to myself, there's influencing and there's leading. And I watched it and I actually had the thought, I looked at it and I said, didn't this guy used to be Barack Obama? Yeah. But I'm saying Barack Obama in the spirit of who he was. And you don't have to agree with him to understand that he was a gifted politician, that he stood like a statesman at times. I don't have to agree with all of his policies to give credit to that person that served 2 terms as a president. And I looked at it and I said, you have been trying to influencing. Clooney said you stood behind the scenes, you didn't lead, you influenced on the coup, if you want to call it that, of Biden stepping out of the candidacy. You influenced from behind the scenes till they finally said, you got to get out in the front yard and you got to yell. And you finally got out and started.
Yeah, PBD has this painting. I think it's either in his house or behind him on his show. Doesn't even another one of these drawn too? Another cringe drawing like this? Actually, wait, I don't know if I've seen this one. Wait, or was this the one I'm thinking of? Oh, no, it is. Because I was going to say it wasn't he, but that's him in the background.
Started campaigning, but there's influencing and leading, and he didn't lead all year. He didn't stand up to lead. And when I looked at it, I said, again, didn't this guy used to be Barack freaking Obama? He don't look like that.
Yeah. You know when you're no longer as attractive as a girl and you expect everybody to treat you like you were at 22 years old?
We agreed not to talk about the view.
But the grace, what stays, you hope the grace stays. Mm-hmm. And you're attracted to the grace, right? Like, you know what, man? She's still graceful, and that you can maintain your looks, but maybe not at 22, you're 62, right? Things have changed. For him, you know what he's going through? Vinny, it's very hard to go through this. My voice doesn't carry the weight it used to carry 20 years ago. Oh, that is hard. Yep. My voice doesn't carry the weight it used to carry 16 years ago, 12 years ago. That's what he's going through. And he's like, hey, guys, don't you remember you used to love me? Mm-hmm. What happened? Give me the attention and love you guys used to give me. I was important. I was your Jesus. What happened? Mm-hmm. How come you guys don't look at me like that anymore? Ooh, let me tell you. It's a psychological, very hard phase to go through. Adam.
I love the analogy you said, because one of the things we say is for a woman, it's all fun and games until you're at the end of the bar having to buy your own drinks in your 40s. Because usually when you're young and hot, they're going to do all that. So Obama, he was the young, hot, fresh candidate. And if you just take the vibe and just the riz, as you say, and you juxtapose when he was like, at least I'll go down as a 2-term president, boom, mic drop.
Cocky
just
prick.
Obama showing up, doing his thing. And now, in the last 30 days, He tried to lecture black men. Black men are like, yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Barack. You know, I've never seen, unless it's something I can't think of, I've never seen Barack Obama not be smooth. Smooth. Even before the election. There was a pause, stuttering, not confidence. Pat's always saying, it's in the eyes, Chico, it's in the eyes. The eyes look flustered. All right, maybe he had an L right there. But it's not just him, because he's wearing the entire Democratic establishment on his back, and he just realized, oh, this whole thing just crumbled. So where does he even go from here?
Yeah, so in a minute, I'll say some things that you guys might disagree with. But first, I understand exactly what you guys are saying. So look, one of the things that I said in that Elon tweet about the Pentagon was I'd rather be in the populist woods than in an establishment prison. And so these guys have been running the prison for a long time. And I don't mean Obama as a Democrat. I mean Obama, Biden, Pelosi, but also Mitch McConnell and Cheney and Bush, et cetera.
The
right?
Uniparty.
The Uniparty has, and if you went outside the guardrails, and as happened to me at MSNBC, you've got issues, right? You go outside the guardrails, you got issues. And that right there was him.
Is it a valuable skill to be able to circle jerk like that? 3 people pretty much said the same thing, but they varied / kept it going. Yeah, well, because remember, when people typically tune into alternative media, they're just, and all media really, people are really just looking for their own kind of opinions to be reinforced, and they're looking to expand out on that apparatus that is like selling them a certain version of reality, and they reinforce it, and then they have it reinforced. It's like a back and forth when they consume media like this. That's the whole point of a show like this. That's why the people that they look to invite on are also people that are going to play into that ecosystem.
Going, I can't believe there's a prison break. What happened? We had you guys bottled up, and you were supposed to listen to our marketing, and we had mainstream media on lockdown, and then The View and Morning Joe would tell you to shut up and vote for us, and you would shut up and vote for us. And when I say us, again, let's be clear, because Joe Scarborough was telling you to vote for George Bush and Dick Cheney.
100%.
And then all of a sudden he's voting for the Democrats and Biden and Kamala Harris, right? Because it's the Uniparty. And so Scarborough is a Republican. He's just an old school Republican. And
reinforcing can be okay sometimes, right? I mean, if it's true, I think that's okay, yeah.
So there's what you guys, I see it even more clearly than you guys, that there's a meltdown in the Democratic establishment because their worldview got rocked. They thought, we're in charge, we're going to get to run this thing forever, and no one's allowed to really disagree with us. And if they do, we'll cancel them. We'll, your character assassination.
They almost did, though, but they almost did. They almost did if you think about it. But by the way, Peter Thiel said this on Barry Taibbi's interview. I don't know if you saw that. It's worth it. On the flight back, drive back, it's worth you watching this one because Peter Thiel, he thinks differently. He said,
Matt Taibbi?
Oh, yeah, not sorry, Barry Weiss. My apologies. Yeah, so I messaged, I told a phenomenal job. But Peter says, you guys got to realize, if the E. Jean Carroll, if the going after Trump, if all the court everyday hearing, if the mugshot, if any of this stuff worked, and he would have lost to Kamala, Trump's record would have been 2016, you got lucky. And we were right. I cannot tell you how important 2024 was. Because Trump winning, the people are saying, no, we were right. Trump was right.
But what happened between 2016 and 2024? Is there another election? We're not.
If you think about it, but by the way, Peter Thiel said this on Barry Taibbi's interview. I don't know if
Matt Taibbi?
Oh, yeah. Peter says, you guys got to realize, if the E. Jean Carroll, if the going after Trump, if all the court everyday hearing, if the mugshot, if any of this stuff worked, and he would have lost to Kamala, Trump's record would have been 2016, you got lucky. And we were right. I cannot tell you how important 2024 was. Because Trump winning, the people are saying, no, we were right. Trump was right. Kamala winning, Obama would have spoken in a different way.
100%.
You know how he would have spoken his demeanor? Very different.
We told you.
Yeah.
We told you.
So another way to frame populism establishment is outsiders versus insiders. And so
Does it scare you that the standard of living could statistically decline in America, but Trump's approval rating could go up? Because that's exactly what's happening in Argentina now. I can't speak to Argentina as much, but yeah, the problem is, again, like people go based on vibes, and how people even feel about like the economy or how people even feel about their standard of living can be heavily influenced by what they're watching on TV or listening to on the radio or watching on YouTube or whatever. So yeah, like standards of living could decrease, but people could feel better about it because they're being told that it's better by these people. So yeah, who knows?
Even if you're a Democrat and you love Obama, you can't say that he's not an insider. He's an insider, right? And so this was the outsiders going, we've had enough. We've had enough. You guys ran this place for decade after decade, and we can't stand it anymore. And you guys, and I agree with one other small thing. And people on the left were mad at him when he started yelling at black men. And you guys mentioned that, like, oh, how dare you and stuff. And even the left was like, whoa, slow your roll, okay? So that's not your job here to come and yell at the voters, etc. But the parts I disagree with you guys on is because the reason why some folks are super worried on the left is because of the things that people on the right and the Trump team have said. Like, first of all, why was I against Trump? We've gone through this. We don't have to relitigate it because he won this time. But he did, in my opinion, he tried to steal the last election. He had fake elector plot. He said terminate the.
Listen to how correct that was. Okay, now I understand that we have only 8 planets left in our solar system because Pluto got reclassified. Now, in my opinion, we do orbit the sun. Okay, in my opinion, we orbit the sun. In my opinion, we have like. What do you mean? In my opinion. What do you mean? Why are you so much stronger on this than other platforms? Now it's in my opinion. So
it's because of the things that people on the right and the Trump team have said. Like, first of all, why was I against Trump? We've gone through this. We don't have to relitigate it because he won this time. But he did, In my opinion, he tried to steal the last election. He had fake elector plot. He said terminate the Constitution, etc. So when you see those things, and if you believe those things, that he really did those things as I do, you're concerned. You're concerned about democracy. You're concerned, is this guy going to leave office? You're concerned, is this going to happen? Number two, gerrymandering. The Democrats do it too, but the Republicans are kings at it. So when you gerrymander the hell out of a state, and all of a sudden, even though the state might be 50-50, but the Republicans have a huge lead in the state on congressional districts, that's true, that's real. And then the last thing is, look, you guys keep threatening to, and I don't mean you guys, and I don't mean all of the right wing, but I do definitely mean some of the right wing, right? Keep threatening to arrest Dr. Fauci, arrest Liz Cheney, arrest this person, arrest that. Now, I think a preemptive pardon on Liz Cheney is nuts. Like, she's not even charged with a crime. What are we even talking about, right? On the other hand, it's the idea that these people might get arrested is not crazy, because people like Kash Patel have said, I got an enemies list, and if I'm the head of the Justice Department or I'm the head of the FBI, I'm going to arrest them.
Didn't Obama actually take a backseat for a long period and only emerge to help support Kamala? Yes. Also, keep in mind, remember, because it's hard to see what else could have been. We always see what is, but you should keep in mind what could have been as well, right? Obama was being criticized by these people. And by the way, a lot of Democrats criticized Obama for not being a leader in the Democratic Party. But if Obama would have been a leader in the Democratic Party, these people wouldn't be praising him. They would go, oh, that's the deep state, right? Because the Clintons were probably more involved in the Democratic Party, and people accuse the Clintons of being the deep state leaders, right? So if you help, you're part of the deep state, you're running things from behind the scenes, you're the shadow puppet government or whatever the fuck, right? But if you don't do anything, oh, well, you're lazy, you're just coming out to try to like influence an election. So there's no winning. It's always everything you do. It's like in card tricks. It's called a force, right? Where you think you're making a choice, but you're not. Like, okay, let's say I'm trying to force you to pick the cell phone, right? I've got two cards, right? Okay, pick one. Pick my passport or my cell phone. And the guy's like, okay, I pick the passport. Okay, you pick the passport. Here's my phone, right? But let's say you do the same thing, okay? Because now they think they've made a choice. Okay, pick the phone or the passport. You pick my phone. Okay, here you have the phone, and I keep the passport. Boom. Like it's like that. It's a force, right? No matter what you do, they always have a way to define it as like reinforcing the conspiracy every single time. No matter what the choice is, it will always reinforce the conspiracy. Don't delude yourself into thinking that it could have been another way. The only time it could have been another way is if it can no longer be that way, right? Well, if Obama would have done this, then we wouldn't view him as being like corrupt or whatever, but that's because it's not possible for him to do that thing anymore. Whenever there's a road open in front of you, all roads lead to conspiracy no matter what. Until some doors have been closed, then those doors would have been okay, but only after it's no longer possible for them to do those things.
So how could you say that that's crazy when that's what they threatened?
But hold on, Cenk, you don't think that Dr. Fauci, well, Mr. Fauci of all these people deserve, especially with the House.
Wait, why did he call him Mr. Fauci? Does Fauci have a PhD or not have a PhD? Why did he call him, from Dr. Fauci? Is this like a dog whistle that I need to be aware of? Oh, he's literally a physician. We just don't. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Select Committee coronavirus pandemic thing that just came out. The shit that this guy did and what they did and what they knew. Of course, these people belong in prison. And I get your angle on the Trump, and you didn't like him, but steal the election. Cenk,
Cenk is legally illiterate, so I would never expect him to ask this question. Most people are legally illiterate. I wouldn't expect any of them to ask the question. But anytime somebody says that, you're one kill shot. Whenever somebody says shit like that, okay, you're one kill shot always. When somebody says this guy should be in prison, then you go, oh, for what crime? They never have an answer. They will never, ever, ever, ever have an answer for you.
These people belong in prison. And I get your angle on the Trump, and you didn't like him, but steal the election. Cenk, 2020, they cheated. The FBI was at Twitter. Hold on. Okay, so Cenk, is the FBI...
Listen, he's about to repeat every single bullshit claim. Matt Taibbi, Twitter, files, FBI, Hunter Biden. He's about to, even though this was all done, it didn't even matter. Why does this not come up? Why does this not come up on fucking Google? Thank you. Don't forget this. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal, policy, and trust, Vijaya Gade, I don't know if it's God or whatever, but don't forget this. This is from the Twitter Files reporters themselves, okay? This is from them themselves, okay? I need to have like a thing, right? Like commonly referenced links. Jesus, just like I always ask for certain links over and over again.
At Twitter, suppressing stories on social media, not election interference, cheating. Be honest with me. The FBI, directed by the left. How is that not cheating?
Okay, brother.
They cheated. The FBI was at Twitter. Hold on. Okay, so Cenk, is the FBI at Twitter suppressing stories on social media, not election interference, cheating? Be honest with me. The FBI, directed by the left. How is that not cheating?
Okay, brother.
That's cheating. Come on. You're lying to the people.
No, let me explain, Vinny. So in 2016 and 2020, it depends on what you mean by cheating and rigged, right? In the Democratic primary, and in 2024, did they rig it and cheated in a colloquial way? Yeah, of course.
It's still the word cheating.
Hold on. Let me explain the difference. So they rigged the debates to have as little debates as possible in 2016. They had the DNC funnel money to Hillary Clinton through the states. So there's a ton of things that they did that rigged it in favor of Hillary Clinton. But you could call it rigging, you can call it cheating, but it's not cheating in terms of fixing the votes, changing the votes. They never changed the votes against Bernie. Bernie did actually lose, even though but the reason he lost, in my opinion, is mainstream media is rigged against him, DNC is rigged against him, but they never changed the votes. So you keep saying like, oh, the media is against me, brother. I mean, I'm a left-wing populist. The media's been against me from 24/7, right? From day one. I don't get to say, hey, the New York Times character assassinated me when I ran for Congress in 2020. I'd like them arrested. I get to say the character assassinated me. They're full of crap, and I'm going to show you how full of crap they are, and I get to fight back, and I get to have my voice, but I don't get to put them in jail.
Okay, but Dr. Fauci lying about gain of function in front of Congress, Cenk, lying about what they were doing in a lab that we own, and then shut down the world, killed all these people. Have you read the book, The Real Dr. Fauci? That book is this. Cenk, if you haven't, read that book to know exactly who this guy is. That's step one. Number two, and Pat, I think we're going to get into the stories of what the select committee talked about. But Cenk, if you knew that they were doing gain of function and this thing leaked, and you were responsible for it, and you lied in front of Congress, you lied. It's a fact. He lied, and people are dead. I have friends, Cenk, that are vaccine injured, not that long COVID bullshit. Vaccine injured. One of them is in this building. She's affected by it. That guy doesn't belong to go.
Bullshit. Don't believe it. How does every conservative happen to know a fucking vaccine injured dipshit? I don't believe it. Not even for a microsecond.
Injured, not that long COVID bullshit. Vaccine injured. One of them is in this building. She's affected by it. That guy doesn't belong to go. He belongs in jail, 100%. So hold on, Cenk. None of them deserve prison. Nobody that has effed up this guy. They've been cheating since 2015. There has to be accountability, Cenk. We deserve that.
No, so a couple things here. Look, when they said it's not the Wuhan lab,
they still haven't said it definitively. They're still like possibly bullshit. We know it came from China. Why do we have to keep tippy-toeing about it?
Came from China or came from? That's not the claim.
So look, I'm on tape on all these things at the time, not later.
Unless it means like China intentionally did it.
I said, look, brothers, you're telling me a giant virus broke out right next to the Wuhan virus lab,
yeah,
right? One of the biggest virus labs in the world. And you expect me to believe it broke out right next door to it. Yeah. But
why does this is what I mean when I say, like, I don't understand the juvenile, like, your media people. Can we have like a little bit more intellectual integrity here? Can we like ask a question? Why do you think the lab was created there? Why wasn't the lab in Antarctica, right? Like, don't you think there might be a reason why?
Because of a bat and a different kind of animal, et cetera. I'm like, less likely, more likely it broke out of the lab. So when Rand Paul was first questioning Fauci, I was a little skeptical. And then at some point I was like, wait, that's an interesting point. Okay. Yeah. So I hear you on all that, but we cannot arrest people for things we don't like or we don't agree with. So if you're saying, hey, here's a specific crime, okay, I'm willing to listen to any specific crime. Are you kidding me? On corruption, there's tons of crimes that we can have conversations on both sides, right? But it's got to be a crime. We cannot go around arresting people because we don't agree with them politically. That's super dangerous.
So do you think him, and this is talking in Washington, which I think is going to happen, him talking about pardoning. So here's the thing. Why would you want to pardon Adam Schiff, Dr. Fauci, and Liz Cheney of all people, unless they've done, it's not Trump's coming after them, because this whole Trump, the boogeyman coming after Cenk is bullshit, because it's the left.
But you
the
just said arrest Dr.
No, me personally, from the shit that he's done, especially with 1,000%, because people have died because he lied, plain and simple. But
I was going to say that meme earlier. Fauci lied, people died. Fauci lied, people. Fauci was national. Was he HHS? He wasn't, right? It was the one below the National Institute of Health. Am I making this up? Wait, what was his position? Hold on, Yes, the National Institute of Health, which is one under the HHS. I think it's right within the, this one guy had the ability to shut down the entire fucking world, I guess. Okay.
You get that that's freaking people out. Like, you guys were freaked out that Trump was arrested. That's freaking out the Democrats. And when you guys start talking about arresting people,
we did good. Let them be freaked out. To hell with all of them. Because
there it is. Remember, it's about revenge. They do want to do the bad things that you're accusing them of. They've dropped they've gone totally mask off on this because they think that you've already done it, right? Republicans or MAGA think that we've already abused the DOJ, so they do want to abuse the DOJ, and they'll say that. And he just said it. Yeah, good. Be afraid. You should be afraid.
the Democrats, and when you guys start talking about arresting people,
we did good. Let them be freaked out. To hell with all of them. Because we want accountability. The guy won. I love everybody was shocked. You don't like Trump because of the personality, Cenk. You say, he's a comment, he's a cookie like that. America spoke. We don't give a shit about that, Cenk. It's the policy. He's been the policy guy from day one. But accountability, I love that the left is panicking. They're all scurrying like freaking rats. We deserve accountability. And if that guy's guilty, we want prison. One person has to go to jail, Cenk. We need one of them.
But Vinny, that's why Obama gave that speech. Because he's worried that you're going to say, okay, hey, I don't have a crime yet, but I want these guys
I didn't say that. No, there's no crime with Fauci. He lied in front of Congress.
Okay, so he lied in front of, I don't even know about because it's over the gain of function shit. I haven't dug into this. I am so exhausted because every single COVID and vaccine conspiracy was a fucking lie every time I dug into it, but it doesn't move any of these people anyway, so.
About a virus, gain of function, they mess with animals and they jump to humans.
Let me say something here, and then I want to go to the committee as well as I want to go to the partners that they're talking about doing. When you think about why, to me, when I rank the events that helped Trump win in a landslide victory, and landslide, the majority is, you're right, the Republicans rarely win the majority, but he won, and that's a big victory for them to get that. It's the 7 states is really what it is for me, and the plus minus of all states. That's kind of how I look at it when I think about it. I think Musk is number one, but I think that day when Bobby walked out at the Turning Point USA event and he got up and he said, I'm here now, and I asked myself, why are so many people fans of Robert Kennedy Jr.? Why is it? Actually think about it. He was an environmental lawyer. Give me one thing about environmental lawyer he did that you still remember to talk about. Most people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine.
Yeah, I do because I knew Bobby.
But what I'm saying is, you do. This is your world.
The average guy
doesn't know. It's like, what are you talking about, right? But if you ask the average guy right now, hey, what's the one thing about Bobby and why you support him? They're going to bring up that Fauci book. By the way, that Anthony Fauci book he wrote in November of 2021-ish got 26,000 reviews, and he got those 26,000 reviews very quickly. Fauci stopped the world. Fauci hurt a lot of people. Fauci manipulated.
Like, how would this one position that 99% of Americans didn't even know fucking existed, that no one in the rest of the world knows, Fauci on his own? How would one man have so much power? Why? Why would China or Russia or any of our enemies listen to this guy? What is the motivation? Like,
and use this power in ways that was disgusting, and it was unattractive.
He doesn't have any power. What do you mean? What power does Fauci have? It's just a part of the executive. He doesn't have the power on his own to unilaterally shut down states or to mandate any, like, it's just, he can make recommendations like that. What do you mean? What power?
And by the way, my concern isn't, it's like, look, do I want to see Fauci go back to jail? No. What they did to Nixon.
Fauci go back to jail? Wait, was Fauci in jail? Wait, what?
Concern isn't, it's like, look, do I want to see Fauci go back to jail? No. What they did to Nixon, not go back to jail. I don't know if he's been to jail.
Go to
jail.
Okay.
Nixon. Watergate. Was that good for America?
Yeah, because it got a crook out of office.
Okay. I believe that's exactly how people feel about
it. What? Wait, what? What is that statement? If that's not accelerationist, I've never heard another accelerationist statement before. What the fuck?
Yates. Was that good for America?
Yeah, because it got a crook out of office.
Okay. I believe that's exactly how people feel about Fauci. They believe he's a crook. And he needs to be held accountable. And history needs to write that he's a crook. Look at the way you responded about Nixon. That movie needs to be made. The same way Anthony Hopkins played Nixon, somebody needs to play Fauci and show the dark side of this man, what he did to America.
Okay, good.
Not jail. To me, pure account. That's all I care. I don't care whether you go to jail or not. He's an 82, 83-year-old man. Yeah. Go do your thing and get away and write a book and, give the argument how sexy you are to Guardian newspaper and whatever you want to do. Go out and do it. For me, it's purely what they did to Nixon. And what Nixon did is 1/10 of what this guy did with this, in my opinion. I think there needs to be a level of accountability for that. But I'm going to read this and we'll still continue with the discussion here. So House COVID-19 panel releases final report criticizing public health response to the pandemic.
Jesus. Okay, sorry. Hold on, before we do more Cenk stuff. I got a lot of shit open right now. I'm 5'9". This is a 5-hour international flight on a full fare airline. Jesus. I don't think I've ever seen a plane this small before. Do you think this is it must be a European airline or something, right? I don't think I've ever seen. Why not say the airline? Are you protecting the company or? Wings of China is the book title. Does that mean does that necessarily mean it's a Chinese airliner or? Are Chinese airlines like super short-legged? Oh, Wings of China is the name of the airline. Oh. Gotcha. Oh, no, wait. Wings of China is the in-flight magazine of Air China. We used to have in-flight magazines in the US, and then I think we got rid of them all because nobody gave a fuck about that. Okay. Warning, warning, Hassan. Hate watch break. Hassan gets mad at Chad after accusations of potentially exploiting the homeless on Skid Row for views.
You know, I mean, not even hopefully. We're going there with some people that work every single day with these people. So it's not, don't film it maybe. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You're the woke of the day. Isn't it inherently exploitative to film? No, you dumb fucks. The entire point is humanizing these people. That's the whole point. Can you just shut the fuck up? Please, can all of you just collectively shut your stupid fucking woke mouths up? Is that okay? Can we just shut the fuck up collectively? Sounds like a write-off. I am going to Brian kill me. I absolutely fucking despise the
Another warning. Force and clip time. Explain what happened. I don't know. It sounds like he's going to go make some content on Skid Row because it's funny to film poor people and make money off them, I guess. As long as he's running lots of ads. And then someone in chat was like, don't be exploitative. And he lashed out. What do you want me to say? I don't know.
What the fuck? Why can't I control him? Oh, what the?
Can you control the rift now?
Look, he's lagging. Did you see that? He's lagging.
They call me a thug. I call me an
You don't know how to ride him. Your mom knows how to ride me, though.
Refer to the feeding the homeless video. Uh-oh, wait, was Hassan criticizing people, or was this just an H3H3 video? Okay, no, this is unrelated. What is this like? Is this the same thing?
So it's not, don't film it maybe. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You're the woke of the day.
Okay, same thing. Don't care. What is this? About Cenk talking to you about Rittenhouse.
For that guy. For me, I get hit with a skateboard. I don't shoot the other guy.
Cenk, if somebody hits you with a skateboard in the face, there's like a 20% chance that you die. A skateboard?
20% chance, that's probably high. But somebody hitting you in the face with a skateboard, that's a big deal.
Skateboards are a big thing. Okay, that's great that you would, but I wouldn't compel a 17-year-old.
Oh, shit. I'll just tank that. I'll tank that. Okay.
Consistently make you finally found a broker on Wall Street that you can trust and who can consistently make you money. Sound fair enough? And believe me, Kevin, the only problem you're gonna have is that you didn't buy more. Sound fair enough?
Shit, my wife might divorce me, but yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah.
Excellent choice, Kevin. And welcome to Stratton Oakmont.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna have a beer. Right?
Okay. It's funny, when PBD was going to give facts, Destiny doesn't want you to hear it. Excuse me? I just played like 20 minutes of that show, and I listened to tons of content from these people. Why do you lie? Do you think anybody believes you? Okay. Uh-oh. Trump has taken an H-1B position. President-elect Trump told the Post Saturday he supports immigration visas for highly skilled workers, appearing to side with Elon Musk in the roiling intra-MAGA debate on the issue. I've always liked the visas. I have always been in favor of the visas. That's why we have them. Oh, Donald Trump invented H-1B visas? Okay. Trump said by phone, referring to the H-1B program, which permits companies to hire foreign workers in specialty occupations. I have many H-1B visas on my properties. I've been a believer in H-1B. I've used it many times. It's a great program, added Trump. Uh-oh. What is this?
Make America great again. They have a point. America's not doing so great right now, right? Our kids' math scores are down. Our children's science scores are down. When judged according to international metrics, healthcare system's not doing so great. Wealth gap disparities increasing exponentially. There was an implied promise to a generation of Americans that if you do certain things, work hard, go to college, be a good person, you would have certain outcomes. And those outcomes didn't materialize for majority of people because baby boomers entrenched in decision-making positions lowered the capital gains tax so that their net worth essentially compounds year after year. And post-World War II, U.S. leadership traded the domestic manufacturing industry for national security by making the U.S. dollar the default international trade currency, which gave America the ability to impose economic sanctions on foreign countries through a U.S. financial banking system, but consequently increased the value.
Okay, I'm good. Two left for me.
Well, first of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers.
Trump will never be called out for this total 180, by the way. But you better fucking believe you're still going to hear about Kamala's platform in 2019 when she wasn't even actually the nominee about what she thinks about surgeries for trans prisoners or whatever, right? Trump will never be called out for stuff like this.
This in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it. Well, first of
From friend of the stream, Nick Fuentes. Oof, I remember this. This was fucking awkward. Holy shit.
I, too, am a fan of yours. I'm going to make a point of disagreeing with you so that it will be fun. You are so bright and articulate, and I guess I can call you articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
This program.
Rewind and look at his face.
This program is.
I too, most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. We'll get back to that.
His face does nothing. Okay. What is this? Don't care. When she says the first thing.
Articulate since you're not an American black. Can't say that about them. That's derogatory. And that was a great opening segment. Lots of things to talk about there. Oh, and I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president. But I still would not have voted for you because.
Okay. Hold on, I'm just going through things I have open. This might be a good clip, but the music ruins it so much. I super don't give a fuck. Okay. Jesus, cringe. This is the same man who said it was okay if women are sexually assaulted. Why are we even still entertaining him? He's been a weirdo from the start. It's about time people stop putting him on some sort of high moral pedestal. I've watched the last stream of Hassan in regards to the Blake Lively situation and his mention of the resurgence of the Amber Heard trial. So you don't have to. Disappointment is an understatement. Did he give a wrong take here or something? Or I want to start by saying I followed Hassan for a year and appreciated his Gaza his Gaza coverage, but I'm disappointed he refuses to educate himself on this one particular issue, repeating tired talking points. I'm not a hater, just think his stance here is poorly informed.
That took PR group that Justin Baldoni hired to go against Blake Lively to change social media opinion.
I don't know anything about Blake Lively or what this is, but
against Blake Lively in the It Ends With Us PR battle that took place. Okay, that same PR company has also worked alongside Johnny Depp in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp saga. This is why a lot of people were like coming in here for the past couple of days and talking about how are you gonna do apologies or some shit, because they just completely have misunderstood my position on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard saga, which is fine. PR group, okay,
I don't know anything about this. First thing I noticed, he continues to point multiple times at Blake Lively as an out-of-touch weirdo and as a Hollywood star, and therefore she has done bad things herself, and she is also not clean, bringing up her choice for the marketing campaign of the It Ends With Us.
I think it's an interesting story. Does the fact that Blake Lively is unbelievably out of touch affect your perspective here at all? I'm struggling. No, it's once again another Hollywood story. So obviously, given that it's a Hollywood story, there are no clear good guys and clear bad guys. Okay, most of the parties involved are bad to varying degrees. Let's take a look. I think it's
wait. Why does Hassan hate Hollywood? That sounds retarded. That was a weird, stupid take, but okay. But or whatever. Campaign of the It Ends With Us movie, which I might have agreed with in different circumstances. In this specific case, there's no point in bringing that up other than to victimize, deflect, or shift the blame. Sure, they should have addressed the criticism and listened to domestic violence survivors on the matter.
In the process, adult woman who is like 40 plus years old is actually simply a helpless, hapless fool and is going along with the previously agreed marketing plan, and that she has no fucking say in the process. You will not be able to convince me that Blake Lively is completely blameless in this process because of the manipulative tactics utilized by Justin Baldoni in this smear campaign. Do you understand? She's 37. My bad. Okay. Yeah. As a 37-year-old and a producer on the film, I think you are discounting the amount of feedback that she has. And it's always like weirdly infantilizing. But ultimately,
she's 37, by the way. Wait, really? What is this obsession of his with calling people 40-something? Why does he do? What is this weird obsession? Did somebody use this as an insult against him about his age, and now he's like insecure, and this is like his projection? Or
as adult woman who is like 40 plus years old.
Blake, is this Blake Lively? Blake Lively age 37. Why would you say this? He is cripplingly afraid of hitting 40. Okay. It's weird. But what's missing, but that's missing the bigger picture. The reality is Baldoni. Wait, is this a real name, or is this person making fun of somebody? The reality is Baldoni knew there were real, literal sexual assault allegations against him that other people were aware of, and was anticipating to come out and preemptively orchestrated a calculated smear campaign to attack first, which was anything but organic, even if that criticism might have organically come to life. It wouldn't have escalated to this degree of public shaming if Baldoni hadn't intentionally initiated and fielded himself. And equating the two parties is insanely misogynistic to me. Continuously bringing that up only serves to fabricate consent for the treatment Blake Lively has been subjected to. It's ironic as he seems to grasp these nuances on other global issues in other situations, but when it comes to women, he apparently fails to realize them.
Being a bunch of stuff that's like that existed in the ether about Blake Lively being an out-of-touch person, and they greatly amplified that to a bunch of stuff that's like that existed in the ether about Blake Lively being an out-of-touch person, and they greatly amplified that.
Okay.
And made.
He's fixated on how social media, especially Reddit, amplified this, likely because it's what he relates to, given his own experience with PR smear campaigns. He grants himself grace, but denies it to women, constantly bringing up their flaws of being in the Hollywood industry. When oh, by the way, hot take, I think people like Hassan, I think a lot of these guys, I think they are misogynistic. And I think it comes out. They have the right, like, woke talking points, but I do think they view women as lesser beings, okay? He's fixated on how social media, especially Reddit, amplified this, likely because it's what he relates to, given his own experience with PR smear campaigns. He grants himself grace, but denies it to women constantly. Okay. When discussing the Amber Heard trial, he keeps calling it mutual abuse, a term we've already established is discredited by professionals in the field. It isn't a recognized concept. There's retaliation, self-defense when cornered, but not mutual abuse as he frames it. Okay.
The PR campaign made a situation where normally you would look at abuse.
When somebody says that, it's been discredited by professionals in the field. What does that mean? I fully believe that relationships can be mutually abusive. I also believe, though, that there are some people that wield the term mutual abuse to crazy make or discredit the other side. So, for instance, if one party's being abused over and over again, and then they retaliate and they say, oh, well, this is mutually abusive now, that's bullshit. I would agree with that. But is this saying that, like, do professionals believe that there's literally no such thing as a mutually abusive relationship? What is this source for that? Is there like an article that came out, or is there like, is this like a study or a concept that's being introduced, or what?
The PR campaign made a situation where normally you would look at abuse, even like mutual abuse, which a lot of people would get triggered for me even saying that. In normal circumstances, the party that is physically more powerful is supposed to automatically be seen as the villain. That was a first, I think, where the party that is physically capable of overpowering their partner was seen as like the pure victim. And that, I think, played a tremendous role. Like the PR campaign played a tremendous role in making it seem like Amber Heard was the abusive bad person in the situation. Contrary to how people would tackle an issue like that normally. The PR...
Okay. It's interesting that he believes his opinion is so valuable and truthful because he's been right on topics he knows well. He assumes he must be correct here too, claiming people will eventually conclude that both parties were at fault, offering the most basic superficial analysis.
Yeah, have you changed your perspective on Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp? No, I think that both... My attitude on Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp was always that I don't like either of these people. I think that it's Hollywood assholes in general. But people get so fucking mad when I say
Hollywood
this.
Take.
And I think,
like, you understand, you're basically a Hollywood asshole. Like, you work in media. Like, you're an influencer. You're talent. You're like, what is this weird distinction between people in Hollywood? I don't understand where this comes from.
Assholes in general. But people get so fucking mad when I say this, and I think more people will inevitably arrive at this conclusion. The Meninists get mad because Johnny Depp is a pure soul who was a perfect victim. And then the Radfems get mad because they're like, you're not unconditionally offering support to Amber Heard. But like I said,
yeah, true. He literally lives in Hollywood. True.
Yeah,
my position on this is pretty both sidesy, but that's just because I don't know.
Have you changed your perspective?
I don't know the details of the case. I've heard bad things about both of them, but I don't know. Fuck all about this. In general, I feel like when people both have like somewhat basically when both people have agency and it's super abusive, I feel like those are usually mutually abusive situations, but I don't know the details of any of it. I don't follow any of it. People have moved past this because it's such a ridiculous stance. Many DV specialists have repeatedly supported the position that she's the victim, I guess, is in the situation that acted as self-defense, publishing deep, thorough psychological analysis, signing open letters in her defense. He provides no evidence of Amber being the bad person he claims, beyond her being in Hollywood. His old streams show him being anti-Amber, calling her names and falsely claiming she nearly severed Johnny Depp's finger, something debunked by forensic evidence.
But then there is this mass fucking smear campaign against Amber Heard, and the public sentiment is dramatically shifted in favor of Johnny Depp, who...
Why do you think Trump is trying to stop the TikTok ban? What happened to him being anti-China? He doesn't care as long as he feels like the propaganda supports him. He'll always be in favor of it. So I'm sure Russia operates, and there's disinformation campaigns and shit on TikTok as well. And they all seem to favor Trump. So he's probably supportive of it because he felt like TikTok... I think we literally listened to him say that. Well, I don't know. A lot of people on TikTok seem to support me. So he's against it now, the ban of it.
Who, you know, is a horrible person. So it was crazy. Is dramatically shifted in favor of Johnny Depp, who, you know, is a horrible person. So it was crazy how, like, black and white that situation was presented to the public. And I think that it was, once again, a targeted, deliberate, concerted effort to vilify Amber Heard, or even use, like, some of the instances where, like, Amber Heard wasn't exactly a great person either. Right. So the more you have, like, an imperfect victim, the easier it is to vilify the person. And I think it's and basically that's what happened with bro, his finger got almost cut off by Amber. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, have you changed? But then,
well, did he actually agree with that, or was he about to say something different? I'm guessing she wouldn't disingenuously clip that so much, right? But he doesn't question at all how much of these opinions he holds is simply the result of a smear campaign and not actually the truth. All the things he brought up have been debunked. In fact, Amber has been pretty progressive in support of multiple causes than others. It's clear to me that he has not read past the very beginning of the trial, especially when the appeal and the unsealed documents became public. Otherwise, he'd realize how wrong he's been all along. He also criticizes those who challenge his opinion by equating feminist voices with incels, which is absurd for a man on the left. How do you compare people on your side to literal Nazis? Damn, this woman is super left. Incels are literal Nazis? He even called them swerfs, a label irrelevant to discussion.
Like, right-wing shitheads say that about me, probably, when in fact most of the radfems online fucking despise me and think I'm, like, the worst man, the worst version of misogynistic man, because I'll sometimes say things like, well, I don't really know about Blake Lively, you know? It seems like she is a little out of touch. And then people will get fucking very mad about that. They'll be like, oh, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. Many of those radfems are also swerfs in general. Sex work, exclusionary, radical, feminine. Like, right-wing shitheads say that about me.
This makes me think, oh, he did the thing. Isn't he the guy who, oh my God, I think, didn't he do that to Nicholas Diorio right after listening to Nick say that Hassan does this? Does anybody remember what I'm talking about? This makes me think he brought it up just to demonize radical feminists, which is baffling because they don't hate sex workers. They hate sex work and want better for those in it. I'm so over the demonization of radical feminism for opposing the porn industry. Hassan admits he has misogynistic blind spots, which are obvious by now, saying that he works against it when in this situation, he is taking the comfortable misogynist position that align with society. Comes off as tone deaf. Not all criticism is hateful. He's genuinely wrong here.
Radfem accounts online, they say I'm like the grossest misogynist pig of all time. And I think part of that is because, yeah, of course, as a guy, I do have some misogynistic tendencies every now and then.
What the fuck kind of retarded pander statement is this? What? As a white guy, yeah, sometimes I just, I'm racist every now and then. It happens. It's just an ordinary part of, the day-to-day experience of being white. How can you not hate black people every now and then, right? Look at all the extra vocab they have access to.
Some misogynistic tendencies every now and then. And I actively try to work against it to the best of my ability. But, sometimes I fuck up and say shit. But I don't know. I still find it. They just dropped the whole you went to a brothel and that's the only thing they run with that somewhat sticks. Yeah. Well, that too.
Many, like Meduson, covered this case extensively, and you could consult them to correct your stance. Since no one is invested in redeeming Amber Heard, no thorough investigation is happening. But if you care about the truth, don't wait for it to become trendy. Seek it yourself. And then always a GoFundMe to cap it off. Help Mahmoud evacuate and cover daily expenses. My name is Brittany. I'm an American citizen and I'm sponsoring Mahmoud's campaign. We went on social media when a mutual friend told me someone was in need of a campaign sponsor. He initially started this GoFundMe as a way to evacuate in order to find a job in Egypt. Where is he evacuating from? I lived in Deir al-Balal my entire life. I started this campaign in hopes of evacuating to Egypt. Deir al-Balal. Is this in Israel proper? Oh, no, this is in Gaza. Okay. Palestinian city in the central Gaza Strip. The middle guy. Huzzah. How do you do it? I need to figure out how to do that one. Three years ago, the occupation prevented my father from traveling for medical treatment, unable to receive life-saving chemotherapy. We were forced to watch his condition worsen. After his passing, I became a part-time student, studying and working in order to secure my family's future. My lifelong dream was to make my late father proud by becoming an electrical engineer just like him. Before the start of this genocide, I was taking the steps to achieve that dream. I had enrolled at Palestine Technical College while working at an electrical distribution company, but now the college has become a refugee camp, preventing me from continuing my education. Bro, even Palestinians have middle-class beggars? What the fuck? What? While Mahmoud attended classes, he also worked on multiple projects. This is Mahmoud. When he first got accepted to his technical school, his biggest dream is to be an electrician like his late father. Regarding money transfers, I'll be transferring the money via PayPal for transaction receipts. Check the following folder. You must access this through a web browser. The GFM app doesn't always work. He needs $10,000 to evac. Rafah crossing permit, $7,000. What about all of his family? He's just like leaving all of it, or is this for all the permits? How much does Rafah crossing permit cost? I don't trust anything written by The Intercept. But NPR has a thing here. I don't actually trust anything written about Israel by anybody, but before the war, it cost a few $100s. Now it costs $5,000 per adult and $2,500 per child, according to Palestinians who have recently left Gaza. Damn. Who charges this? Egypt or Israel or? Oh, okay. That was okay. Damn. Okay, that was a hate Hassan thread. Destiny Hassan. Somebody said Hassan has been ranting against Hollywood a lot lately. He did it yesterday as well. How do you know this? You guys hate watch so much.
So long, I've always wanted to be different.
Bro, this so like, dude, I think I don't know if it's like almost a hog-like tendency in me, but I have developed so much resentment for Hollywood, especially over the last couple of years, where I legitimately like any sort of like representation of like the glitz and glamour of Hollywood immediately has this disgusting like I have this like resentment when I see it. I'm like, how dare you celebrate your themselves at a time when people are suffering. And I think that's me being too woke. I will admit, once again, as me being too woke. And I do also categorize.
Wasn't Lil Bro posting pictures of him like flying on private jets and wearing like multi-$1,000 like outfits and shit? Like what?
A lot of the quote unquote drama that people are hyper invested in terms of like Hollywood celebrities, whether it be Johnny Depp or whether it be any number of different things like the Justin Baldoni shit, like with Blake Lively, where I'm just like, why do you care so much? Like, I get that there is a lesson that you can draw out of that about systemic harm, and I certainly cover it from that perspective, but people get far too invested in shit like that and not necessarily invested enough in the other we talk about on a daily fucking basis, like the ongoing atrocities in Gaza or any number of different awful things that happen all around the world, and it makes me so mad, and it makes...
Yeah, people are more invested in like Hollywood drama than politics. Like, you could have said this in so many fewer words. There's actually a really intellectual young thinker who actually basically said what Hassan said in so many fewer words.
That there is a lesson that you can draw out of that about systemic harm, and I certainly cover it from that perspective, but people get far too invested in shit like that and not necessarily invested enough in the other we talk about on a daily fucking basis, like the ongoing atrocities in Gaza or any number of different awful things that happen all around the world, and it
own age. And I look and I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age, and they're just kind of just selfie. I'm just like, dude, like, oh my God, like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
It makes me so mad, and it makes me think lesser of the individual that is like coming at me with like serious smoke, when it's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're not taking this Blake Lively shit seriously. It's like, I know that my brain is warped. I understand that. And I try my very best to be a normal person. But I think because of how much I cover this awful shit that's happening in the world, I can never get myself to feel even remotely passionate or even remotely interested in Hollywood related shit. Okay? And
then why cover it? I don't care about Hollywood related shit, but I don't know anything about it. I don't even know who fucking Blake Lively is. If you don't care about it, then just don't cover it. Who cares?
Makes me so mad when people who otherwise are not exactly invested in politics whatsoever dive into the discourse when it comes down to defending the interests of like some rich person in Hollywood, not because of the genuinely held convictions that they have about like whatever political goals that they want to get across, whether it's like combating misogyny or whatever, but instead because it's a Hollywood celebrity that you have developed an unhealthy attitude towards, an unhealthy obsession with, and that's the
we use the parasocial word. We love that one.
Reason why you get like so fucking mad. Yeah. Why don't you care about Blake Lively? Girl, 40,000 people died this year from inadequate access to healthcare is like how I encounter this. I don't know. Especially because like I do talk about misogyny. I talk about like
also, what a strange position for someone to hold who literally lives in West Hollywood, who literally bought a huge mansion in fucking West Hollywood. You could have lived anywhere in the world or anywhere in California or anywhere in LA, and you buy a home in West Hollywood. You're like, God, these people are gross and exorbitant, and I just can't get behind any of their lifestyles or the drama or like...
I talk about sexual harassment in the workplace, things of that nature all the time. But when I do this within the context of like a normal person, not a Hollywood celebrity, nobody gives a fuck. But they only care about like endlessly critiquing from the most like optics focused framework when it is like their favorite celebrity. And it's very frustrating. And I think the moment that I fucking mention this, there will be people exactly that will hear what I'm saying. And the people that I'm criticizing will chime in to be like, no, you don't understand. It's because you're immoral and wrong, and your coverage is actually wrong on this. And I have a difference in opinion in the way that you're covering the story, because I think that this is like unearthing some resilient.
And now I realize I just need to be myself.
We don't want to bring children into a world where from the very beginning they believe everything's hopeless. When if we get together, if we roll up our sleeves and take action, each of us doing what we feel is important.
Anyway, having said that, like I'll still entertain that garbage every now and then. But for me, it's very difficult to see it. Anything as like anything that transcends beyond what do you call it? A fucking Hollywood celebrity shit.
Then there is hope for the future.
It's important to remember that we all have our theories, and that's okay. Thanks for watching. This was our...
That's how people see you. There are wage workers thinking of themselves, just like the Chad who can't pick up arms law. That's how people see you. No, for sure. But see, the difference is I understand that resentment. I totally understand that resentment, which is why whenever people fucking yell at me or chirp at me endlessly, especially if it's like fucking random ass drama that is irrelevant to like a larger preconceived bias that people have or anything like that, I totally get it. Ironically enough, this is a conversation I had with Ethan as well in the past. If you remember, I had this conversation with Ethan when people were yelling at me about buying the fucking house. What did I tell him at the time? And during Leftovers, I was like, I get why people have fucking resentment towards me. I totally understand it. People are suffering.
What is he about to say? How is he going to summarize this?
Financially. Their lives fucking suck. And when they see some rich asshole be able to achieve something that they only can see as a dream in their, you know, in the future, and it's at odds with the way that they see the world, with their misunderstandings of what socialism is or whatever the fuck, then yeah, of course they're going to carry a lot of fucking resentment towards someone like myself, especially when they're not going to deeply examine why they feel that way. So I get it.
True. Keep hate watching working class Andy. True. This would be true, except they both need to be literally the exact same color, because that's where we're at now. But